Hey guys, I thought I'd do this video. I've been talking about it for a while. It's going to be the story on the Rambler, the full story from beginning to now. It's going to be a compilation of videos that are already out there and pictures. We'll get started on that. As some of you guys know, the Rambler was my grandpa's on my dad's side. And if you see me looking off to the side, I have little notes because I don't hit on everything. But it was my grandpa's car on my dad's side. He worked at AMC in Kenosha in the 60s, which was right around the time my dad was born. My dad was born in 66, same year as the car. Car was probably made in 65 or whatever though, but yeah. So he passed away in a semi-accident actually, on July 30th, 2014. He was driving a feed truck, liquid feed, and there was a car around a turn, and they were stopped in the middle of the road, and he either had the choice of hitting them or going into the ditch. He decided to go into the ditch. And, that was that. So he had a bunch of space with a bunch of stuff. He kind of collected and hoarded, or whatever you want to call it, I guess. Tractors and cars, and he had like a fire truck and stuff, just a bunch of stuff like that. So I ended up finding the Rambler, which is right here. Put a picture up for those of you that haven't seen it. But I found that right next to the toolbox, which is back there. He used to work at Frito-Lay as I think a diesel tech. He worked somewhere as a diesel tech, so he had that toolbox. But when I found the Rambler, it had been sitting for roughly 17 years based off of what my uncle said. My cousin also got a LS Chalmers tractor that he's working on restoring. I'm going to try and get some video of that because some people might like that. But I tried to keep the box and the car together, which I've done so far, and I try to work on the car with his tools. Just something a little different that I try to do. How did he get the car? It's my understanding that he bought the car from a guy in northern Wisconsin. He actually, it sounds like the guy wanted a tractor that was down here, so my grandpa trailered up the tractor to this guy at, like, to save like $100 or something off the price of the car, and they drove it on the trailer, and he drove it home. I guess he trailered it home, put some coolant, and looks like when I got under it, it looked like he put a rear brake line or something on it and drove it around for a bit. I found a receipt in it with flaming hot Cheetos at Walmart in like 93 or something. So that was in there, and from what it sounds like, he parked it. So it might not have been sitting for exactly 17 years, but it was sitting for around that long. So when I found it, I actually put it on a dolly, actually trailered it back out to his old property. It was in a garage. So I trailered it out to some land that he had, and it sat there for a few weeks, and then we took it over to a buddy of mine's garage. We started digging in. Right away, we replaced the full ignition system, the front brakes. We wanted at least front brakes to drive it to my house, so it has the Bendix 4-piston front brakes. We put that on there, got those replaced, got the calipers replaced. The rotors are originals, they weren't too bad. Just took a good cleaning up, and they were good to go. What else did we do? Rebuilt the carb, and my first time rebuilding a carb. Tried starting it, so I'll show you what the result of us trying to start it looks like. So we had some issues at first. Initially just dumping fuel down the carb works, so we knew the carb needed rebuilding, as I said. Rebuilt that, and it was running pretty good. Ended up changing the oil one more time. The oil was pretty nasty, as you can imagine. It was sitting that whole time, but drove it home. I got a picture of me driving it home. That was sweet. I filled it up, and the filler tube actually like rotted out instantly at the taste of gas, so that was interesting. But so I wrapped some things up just to make it drivable. You know, lights here and there, cleaned up the interior, stuff like that.
Favorite football team's jersey on Sunday, and Medieval Times will give your family a free up.
Parked it on the side of our garage at my house on dirt, which is a big no-no, I understand, but I had to kind of work with what I had there. So parked it for the winter. Following year, I enjoyed it for a bit. I was putting in a 91 no ethanol because it had the original valve seals, to my knowledge at least, in there, and got stuck one time. The gas gauge isn't the most accurate. Got stuck one time low on gas and had to put 93 with ethanol in it. Well, about 5 miles down the road, it looked like it blew a head gasket, but really what it was is it was just burning oil like crazy because the valve seals had died, and I didn't really want to put butterfly seals on there just to kind of band-aid it. So that was when I decided to pull the engine. That was my first engine pull. I'm not gonna lie, I worked with Adam. I actually got a video of Adam's Focus on here, pretty sweet Focus that he actually just sold. I'll put that video in the description. But worked with him. We got the motor out. First engine pull, Adam taught me a bunch. Worked through a bunch there. We did it in my parents' garage. A garage that had prior not seen anything more than like a brake change, and that was rare in itself. So it was kind of a big change for my family as a whole. But we got it out. As soon as it was out, I kind of looked at everything. I had the trans sitting on a pan. I had the motor on a stand, and I just kind of looked at it and I was like, I don't know if this car's ever going to get back together. It was just a weird, nervous feeling. So pulled that out and ended up pushing the Rambler back out of the garage into where it was originally parked on the side. Sat there for a bit. I ended up letting the motor sit for like 4 or 5 months because I just thought it was in over my head. Talked to my buddy Ian down at IMB Performance. Also check his link in the description. He was great throughout this whole thing. Talked to him, and he was like, yeah, we can do it right now. And I was like, yeah, I don't have money, but I'll make it work. And we ended up making it work. Tore it all down. Really learned a lot about the engine itself during the teardown process, and took it all down there. We got the engine all cleaned up, honed, all that stuff. Did a full build on it. You know, all bearings, mains, everything. We just went through the whole thing. It got I'll put a link in the description of the build. I have a build video as well, so go check that out. But main bearings, cam bearings, everything, new cam. Heads went through. I took the heads to Bailey Motorsports. They're over kind of by Madison. So if you're in Wisconsin, check them out. He does a great job. He did a really good job. I'll put pictures of that up as well. So did some light porting on those and just got those flowing a little bit better because those 327 heads suck, just in terms of flowing. So I think that helped. The cam was grown by Oregon Cam Company. They're out in Washington actually, even though they're Oregon. So then we did the engine, got that all put together at IMB Performance, which is in Beloit, as I think I said. Got that home, got it all painted, and again with help of Adam, we got it put back in. My buddy Jordan came over and helped too. My dad and my brother were helping, so we all got it in there. Had a little bit of trouble starting it up just because timing and stuff, which was on my end. I had it off 180, so I got that all taken care of, and she ran like a dream. Got her all broken in, no issues. So went and got exhaust eventually. Actually, yeah, I got exhaust, got the carb tuned in. I had a local friend help me with that. And then, let's see, there was some valve train ticking. I ended up pulling the head. You guys saw that. Saw what looked like potentially a lifter going bad. So replaced all the lifters and then had to go get exhaust fixed after that because the crush washer was bad. Got the car back on the day of the big Kenosha AMC homecoming show, which was my goal to have the car to for 2017. So got it done there, and there's still some ticking, and I didn't want to risk it, but at the same time, the whole year had kind of been working up to that point for me in terms of getting this ready. So we just kind of went. Figured if it was wiping the cam clean, it would have happened on the way there. It didn't happen on the way there. Drove the car around all week. It did about 500 miles round trip, no problem. So I was pretty happy about that. Fresh build, something like that, no issues, is kind of impressive. So in my opinion, it was impressive, and it was just fun overall. So did that. Other than that, that's kind of where we got this year. I've had it parked a little bit just because I got busy at the end of the year and need to wrap up some things. But just been trying to enjoy it. I'm working on building it the way that my grandpa would have done it. So we're going to replace the vinyl top that's on here because it's kind of junky. We're going to try and clean up the paint that's on here, but it's not getting new body panels or new paint. I think I kind of like the rustic look, and I think he would have as well. So we're doing that. I'm going to go through the front suspension and the gas tank. And then eventually we'll go through the interior as well. I don't think he would have cared about the interior, but I want it to be a car that people can hop in and enjoy, and not have to look here and there and see dirt and rust and stuff. So yeah, so he was just the guy that wanted stuff to run. I think I have that done for the most part. Have some ticking to take care of. I think it's probably a flywheel bolt or a bell housing bolt, something simple like that, but we'll look into it in the spring. Yeah, that's kind of the story of the Rambler. It's a neat car that AMC made in the past. I think my grandpa really, I don't know why he was attracted to this car in specific. He had multiple AMCs in the past, but this is the one he had when he passed, and I wanted to build it in his memory. So that's what we're doing here on this channel. Just a bunch of AMC stuff and some other stuff here on the side, and that's that. So I want to thank you guys for sticking through it on this video. If you made it to the end, be sure to give a thumbs up and let me know what you thought of the story. Not really the most interesting story in the world, but does just kind of tell you how I came into getting this car. So let me know what you think. I appreciate you guys watching as always, and more videos to come. Thanks, guys.